Hey everyone, my name is Rob. Tonight we're going to be talking about no risk, no reward. Before we do that, let me just give you an idea of what we're going to be looking at tonight. We're going to be watching some videos. One is from a psychologist. There's a couple of videos regarding success, and there's videos regarding relationships. And we're going to look at these videos and see whether or not we can get something out of them to improve your life. And I think by the end of this video, you're going to be happy that you watched it because you're going to just get some insight into what you can do to get your life moving in a positive direction and get some motivation from this to make you happy to get up in the morning so you can hit the day with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of motivation, and you can do what you want to do in life. A lot of what we want to do in life has to do with goals. But I'd like to reframe trying to reach goals as trying to reach dreams. Because who doesn't want to dream? Who doesn't want to reach their dream? Who doesn't want to be inspired by other people and seeing them reach their dream? And when you think of goals, reframe it to the idea of reaching dreams. And I think you might get a little bit further on that. The first video we're going to be watching is from a psychologist. His name is Orion, and he is a psychologist who's been around on YouTube for a while, and he's a pretty popular guy. And he's talking about men being invisible. And I want you to take a look at this and see what you think about what he has to
Most
say.
men are functionally invisible, both to other men and, more to the point, to women. The biggest risk.
So first, I think we should kind of dissect this a little bit and see whether or not that whether or not what he is saying is something that is valid. I mean, wait for a minute, I'm trying to actually get this. Hear me talking, but is what this psychologist saying, is it valid? He's saying that all men are invisible to other men. And he's also saying that not only are men invisible to
Most
other
men
men,
are functionally invisible, both to other men and, more to the point, to women.
so he's saying that men are functionally invisible to women. And I know it might feel that way sometimes, but that isn't the way it is in reality. In reality, we're not invisible. Uh, just to give you a quick example, men are not invisible to other men in the sense you're not invisible to your father, you're not invisible to your grandfather, you're not invisible to your boss, certainly not invisible to your boss, and you're not invisible to your brothers, siblings. So what he's saying isn't necessarily completely in
Most
line with
men
what
are
reality is.
functionally invisible, both to other men and, more to the point, to women. The biggest risk a man can take in his life is not taking a risk. If a man does not take a risk, the world passes him by. Take a risk.
So I agree with that. If a man does not take a risk in his life, the world will pass him by. That's not necessarily a bad thing to everybody, but it is a bad thing if you have some ambition in life and you want to get from where you are now to where you're able to go to. And in order to do that, necessary to take some action. And that action doesn't have to be huge steps. It can be just some small steps that get you moving in the right direction. And that's not, that wasn't working. But here we go. It's much better. Let's see.
Most men are functionally invisible, both to other men and, more to the point, to women. The biggest risk a man can take in his life is not taking a risk. If a man does not take a risk, the world passes him by. Take a risk.
I agree. We have to take risks in life in order to get anywhere. And sometimes that's difficult to do. Not sometimes it's difficult to do, but it is difficult to do. Because in order to take risks, it requires you to do something uncomfortable. But what I'm always saying on my channel is that the risk that everybody takes, the action that you take, doesn't necessarily have to be. So you can see the video a little bit better. It doesn't have to be a risk that puts you in a position where you're not comfortable.
Most men are functionally invisible, both to other men and, more to the point, to women. The biggest risk a man can take in his life is not taking a risk. If a man does not take a risk, the world passes him by. Take a risk.
Okay, so he's saying to take a risk, and I'm going to give you an example why you should take a risk right now. This video I saw, I think it was posted on a woman's account, and it's kind of poking fun at Passport Bros. I'm not taking a position one way or the other on Passport Bros, although if I did have to take a position, it would be in favor of Passport Bros. And I know that guy that we just looked at, we just saw his video. The guy was Orion, and
most men are functionally invisible,
did a video
both to other men and, more to the point, to women. The biggest risk a man can take in his life is not taking a risk. If a man does not take a risk, the world passes him by.
But that risk doesn't have to be in business. It doesn't have to be in real estate. It doesn't have to be in your family. It could be in a relationship. And that's why I want you guys to see this video about Passport Bros.
Majority of divorces in America are initiated by women.
I mean, if I look at the average man in America, I would understand that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I think on this channel, I'd like to keep an open mind as far as what's going on with other people's views. And I'm not sure if this guy is in a position to lecture American men on what it takes to be a good man. I mean, American men are not only, I mean, we're creative, we build things, take risks. I mean, look at Silicon Valley. I mean, guys build skyscrapers, they get up in the morning and they lug steel and they put buildings together. And we lead the world in innovation. Men lead the world in innovation, and his two punks describing what American men are lacking.
Majority of divorces in America are initiated by women.
I mean, if I look at the average man in America, I would understand that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
No, 100%.
I am not sorry. I'm actually very true, direct to the point.
100%. Ladies, I think both of us foreigners agree that considering the value of the average American boy, we understand why.
Again, the value even of the average man in the United States of America is head and shoulders above most men anywhere else. Where, again, we build things, we create things, we built this country. Not only that, is the United States military is the strongest in the world. The United States Army, the United States Air Force, the United States Marine Corps, the United States Navy. I am a former United States Marine Corps officer, and I know for a fact, I know from personal experience what the American military is capable of doing. And it's capable of defeating any military in this world. So when this guy gets on here wearing a white T-shirt and goofy-looking shoes, pants that don't reach, thinks he's stylish, and saying that he understands why American women divorce American men. Not only am I a former United States Marine Corps officer, but I'm an attorney. And if we wanted to discuss divorce in the United States, we could discuss that, but this video isn't going to be about that. But what I really want to stress is that not only are American men, average American men, just head and shoulders above most men in this world, but we have the strongest military in the world, and that military is made up of strong men that make this country great, and makes this country the way it is. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. Not only that, is that I would say that most American women would absolutely desire American men over any man in the world, and American men desire American women or other women in the finish this off. Listen
Look
to
at the average man in America, I would understand.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
No,
I am sorry.
No, 100%.
I am not sorry. I'm actually very true, direct to the point.
100%. Ladies, I think both of us foreigners agree that considering the value of the average American boy, we understand why majority of divorces in America are initiated by y'all.
I would say, just listening to a little clue, you can kind of imply what's going on here, is that he said, if you notice, he said average. He identified himself as a foreigner, which means to me that it was probably a staged video made by some guys in the United States who wanted to try to be funny.
Point.
100%. Ladies, I think both of us foreigners agree that considering the value of the average American boy, we understand why majority of divorces in America are initiated by y'all. Yeah. You 100%. 100%.
Like,
my God.
This guy's a ding dong, so I don't put too much stock in that. But point I'd like to make is that most American men, if not, just most American men, are head and shoulders above men in every part of this world. And as I said, I was a major in the United States Marine Corps, and I know for a fact that not only are men in the United States head and shoulders above men in other parts of the world, but we're capable of defeating any Army, Navy, Air Force, or whatever other force in this world very easily. We can't, from my experience, it would be almost impossible to defeat the United States military. But I think this video is staged. So there's another video I want you to see, and it's done by a woman. Done by a woman, and I thought it was kind of
Most
interesting.
women hate men in 2023. Most women are frustrated with the men in the dating marketplace of today. The primary reason is the prevalence of desperation among men. High-value women seek partners who are not desperate for validation. These men mistakenly believe that showering women with gifts, material possessions, or attention will win her affection. However, this approach often backfires. In the digital age, women receive overwhelming attention from men.
Well, there's a couple of things we can say about this right off the bat, that she's talking about a digital age. And if you're going to be like comparing men on Tinder with women on Tinder, there is no comparison, because the majority, more than the majority of men on dating apps just happen to be men. And hardly any females are on the dating app. So Are they going to get overwhelming attention on dating apps? Yes. Are they going to get overwhelming attention in a yoga class in real life, in person? No. They're going to get overwhelming attention in supermarket for the majority of women? Probably not. In real life, there's usually more women than there are men. And in the digital life, in Tinder and dating apps, it usually isn't. So it's getting late, and really happy about those of you who tuned in to this live stream. I really appreciate it. And we might try again tomorrow and discuss all this. I think it's really interesting, and I think, guys, if you really want to improve your life in more ways than one, you want to improve your relationships, you want to improve your success in life by increasing your financial ability. And there's many ways to do that, and I haven't even talked many of them on my channel. But again, let me just give you a little bit of background about me. My name is Rob. I'm a former military guy turned entrepreneur and attorney. And when I say attorney, I have experience in real estate, business law, appeals, divorce, basically you name it, and I pretty much have done it over the years, so I'm pretty familiar with it. So when I talk about improving your finances, I'm coming from a place of experience, my own life, and I've had thousands and thousands of clients, successful clients, and I've seen what has worked for them, seen what's worked for myself, and it's not really rocket science, not rocket science in a way that ordinary people, can go from not just getting by, but I mean, there's a way to do it. There's a way to get your finances so that you can enjoy your life, not worry about money all the time. And there's basically a few ways to do it, a few ways that most people do it. And that's through real estate. And when you get into real estate, that can be subdivided into a lot of little niches. And then there's investing in stocks, investing in bonds, investing in mutual funds. There's investing in businesses, buying businesses, selling businesses. There's digital businesses, so we can niche down again. But what I want to leave you with tonight is, if you haven't done so already, I would say that would be, for you, it would be in your best interest to watch some of my videos and see what you can get from them and see how you can improve your life. Been doing videos for about 3 years now. Done quite a few videos, and if you look at them, most of them are shorts, and you'll be able to get some ideas from that to improve your life, get your life moving in a positive direction, get your life moving by taking action, to get your life moving by taking risks, get your life moving by changing your mindset from one of scarcity to a growth mindset. And I know that's not easy to do. I know it's difficult. It takes work, takes hard work and dedication. It can be done. And when I say a scarcity mindset and a abundance mindset, I think that can be demonstrated pretty easy by just looking out your window tomorrow and look at what do you see in front of you? I kind of want you to get an idea. Imagine looking out your window. It's dark here. You can see out the window here. It's dark. Tomorrow morning it will be light. And you'll be able to see a bunch of things around you. And you'll be able to see houses and cars and people walking around. Where do you think those cars came from? I know they were manufactured probably somewhere in the United States, maybe somewhere in Japan, possibly in China. But those cars had to be bought by somebody. And in order to buy those cars, those people needed money. And that money came from working. And usually the money is borrowed from a bank. And those banks have lots of money. And the money comes from the United States government. And the banks going to be a lesson on banking, but banks have a lot of money. And when you look out the window, you'll see houses. And those houses are really expensive. The houses where I live in Massachusetts anyway are really, really expensive. Starter houses probably go in the vicinity of minimum $800,000. So talking about a lot of money. That money comes from somewhere. So you have all these houses around you worth millions of dollars. Just in one neighborhood, millions and millions of dollars. In order to have an abundance mindset, you have to realize that money is out there. That money came basically from thin air, from the government printing money or the government creating digital money. Modern world anyway. So you have all this money, you have all this abundance, you have all this around you. Think of the air that we breathe. Are you worried about running out of air if you're a normal, healthy person? You're not worried about running out of air. Might be concerned about air pollution. I hope you're not, but we all want to breathe clean air. But there's plenty of air to breathe, and we don't worry about it because we know that the air that we breathe is pretty abundant. Same with water, or at least it is in Massachusetts. Plenty of water, and we don't have to worry about water running out. So think of that the next time that you think that there isn't enough money or that there's scarcity of items and we all have to be careful about running out. Obviously, we have to have a realistic mindset, but we also have to realize that there is plenty for everyone. And I don't really want to go over this video too much, but this woman is basically stating that she's saying that, in her opinion, anyways, there's a lot more women. There's a lot more guys chasing women than there are women chasing men. And I really don't think the headline of her video is why most women hate men in 2023. Almost 2024 now. And for one thing, most women don't hate men. Most women like men. And certainly most men not hate or dislike women. We love women. We couldn't live without them. It's not just women in relationships, but think of it. You have your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, your sisters, co-workers. You don't hate them. And women don't hate men. And what we were just talking about is having an abundance mindset. And this woman really doesn't have an abundance mindset. She's saying that there's men chasing a lot more women, men chasing women.
Women hate men in 2023. Most women are frustrated with the men in the dating marketplace of today. The primary reason is the prevalence of desperation among men. High value.
I don't know if men are desperate. I know the people that I know are not desperate. I know I'm not desperate. So I don't know where this woman gets her information. And it could be her experience on dating apps where there's more men than there are women. Again, where I live in Massachusetts, there's a lot more women than there are men. And I don't see men as being desperate. I don't see women as being desperate. it's, I mean, it depends on how you look at life. And we were talking about an abundance.
Women seek partners who are not desperate for validation. These men mistakenly believe that showering women with gifts, material possessions, or attention will win.
I don't know about you, but if somebody showered me with gifts and attention, I'd be pretty happy. Bring it on. So anybody out there wants to shower me with gifts or attention, I'm all for it. Trying to give you guys some pointers, but well, I can't imagine somebody being upset with being showered with gifts and attention. Can't imagine it. So I don't know what this beef is, but I mean, look at her. She looks like she's well put together. She has hair is combed and she has light makeup on, and she's like she's in a half decent car and wearing like her clothing is pretty clean. So nothing wrong with her attitude. Maybe she's just trying to get views.
In her affection. However, this approach often backfires. In the digital age, women receive overwhelming attention from men, many of whom come across as desperate. To stand out and make a positive impression, men must avoid being like the countless others.
I don't think men really have to avoid anything. Women certainly don't. I mean, women have to put in just as much effort as a man. They want to get high quality men. High quality man doesn't put up with, not going to put up with games. Let's put it that way. So if a woman, if a man gives a woman attention and a woman doesn't reciprocate, most men that I know just would move on. Oh, no, I'm done. Don't appreciate attention, and you get the next woman. Well, so I wouldn't take a whole lot of stock about what she's saying. Just move on.
And strive to stand out. Balance themselves. Why most women hate men in 2023. Yeah. Most women are...
Well, I think I'm going to say goodnight. It's getting late, and I hope you all have a good night. Again, my name is Rob. I'm a former military guy, turned entrepreneur and attorney. If you haven't done so already, please